So music's almost like a tabula rasa, really. It's this blank slate that can absorb emotions. And so, for example, the music that was perhaps played at our wedding will have a particularly powerful association. And indeed, music played at someone's funeral can equally elicit a very strong emotional response. And the way it works is this: in the brain, when it hears a particular piece of music, it triggers not only the memory of the music, but also the emotion associated with it. And so it can be a very powerful way of triggering old memories, not only the physicality of the memory of what happened, but also the emotion associated with it.
So you had quite a bit of music growing up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it was the wartime, and there wasn't much viewing entertainment.
Yes.
So it was a lot of singing.
So you had to make it yourself?
Yeah.
Lots of music?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's very nice to be able to relive it, isn't it?
It's lovely.
Like a morning like this morning.
If the person is living with dementia, it's wonderful to do it when they're in the early stages. You can put together a whole collection of music that's particularly meaningful to them, perhaps from their wedding or from holidays, from parties, from events in their children's lives, whatever it is. And even more exciting to put them tagged to a photograph. And then the music can help them to remember those particular events. And it's lovely too to do it and with family members, so that it gives the family something to talk about when they visit, and then it's an experience that they've all shared with in the past, and they can continue to share it.
Now this is this new thing that enables you to record speech or music to go with particular photos.
Right.
And I think that's a great way, isn't it?
It
of
is.
remembering things.
Yes.
So tell us about the first one you've chosen.
Well, this was taken at the Dorchester Hotel on the night or evening that Michael was made president of the Building Employers Confederation. It was just a lovely evening, and then we stayed the night there.
And Michael loved music, didn't he?
He adored music, yes.
Yeah.
He introduced me to opera in the early days. I can't remember. I don't think we were married. And he took me to the Flying Dutchman.
So if we had to find one piece of music to sort of sum up Michael, what do you think it might be?
Well, I still think Your Tiny Hand is Frozen. He sang it to me on the cruise when we met.
Oh.
Would you believe?
And you still married him.
I was feeling very sick. And he was looking after me.
How gallant.
It was quite sweet. Yeah.
So what we can do, I can find Tiny Hand on YouTube, and then
Yes.
we can actually record it onto there. That's a really clever bit.
Yes, it has. It's amazing.
It's cool, isn't
Yes.
it? The idea is that this is like a multimedia reminiscence thing, isn't it? So you've got the photo, which
Yes.
might trigger a memory,
Yes.
but also the music
helps.
might trigger a memory.
Yes.
So, and together they can be
Yes.
a really powerful
I see.
way of doing it.
Yes.
And also for a lot of older people whose vision isn't so good, it can be a great way of having of sharing memories with someone. So say, an older person wasn't able to see very well, they could actually have their photograph album, and while, say, a grandchild was looking at the photo,
Yes.
they can play the piece of music, or the talk
Yes.
about it. And it's rather a nice thing to have as also to sort of hand on, isn't it? So that
It is.
grandchildren in future years can hear you talking and playing music and stuff about what was happening. Otherwise that memory's lost, isn't it? But also for strangers, I think it's really difficult sometimes for staff, particularly perhaps agency staff coming in, they know nothing about who they're caring for. Yet actually 5 minutes with this shared experience, you've got a common.
And they suddenly see a little bit more of what that person was like in the past, and it gives them a better understanding of who they are now.
Which is so important, isn't it? Because it's very easy for people coming in late in someone's life just to see them as almost like a bundle of disabilities, in the worst possible sense. But you see a person who perhaps isn't able to speak or isn't able to remember. But of course that's a false picture. I mean, underneath there's
there's a huge history of
history. And
Or
it's really
life
it's down
experience.
to us, isn't it, to find a way of tapping into that, because the
Yeah.
person sort of stuck in their mind, they can't necessarily reach out. But if we reach in through music associated with photographs, then the person can release their memories and their thoughts and their feelings.
And it would be something that, you know, when people came to visit their grandfather or their husband or wife or whoever it is, or their friend, you know, each person could contribute different things. They might have photos back at home and music that happened at those occasions, and they could each bring something, so everybody can contribute in different ways.
By using music as a bridge to sustain relationships, I think it improves the quality of life for everyone in that circle of people.
Yes, and now there was one woman who I was in and had an email exchange with, and because I'd been encouraging her to do just that, and she had been finding it very difficult visiting her husband because he didn't communicate, and she just found it that she didn't know what to do, and it was very frustrating for them both. And anyway, she put this album together, and she said it just transformed the times that they had together, because he responded so well to it, really loved looking at the photos with the music, and it gave them something to do together, and some interaction.
Maybe we should recommend that everyone creates a playlist and an
I think
album with
definitely
music and stuff before they need it, because any of us could have a stroke, for example, any time. It's not just for those that have deteriorative conditions. It could be useful for any of us.